We're here at Cannes, where we've just had your film showcased. I was really excited to see it. It's the only film I've got to see in my time here at Cannes. So yeah, I'm truly grateful, and I really like to see this kind of grassroots filmmaking, this kind of like entry kind of level stuff, this experimental filmmaking, even though there was a lot of homage to old cinema making, which I'm sure we'll get into at the moment. So guys, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
So well, my name's Wolf, Wolf Newson.
I'm Cosmo, Fletcher. But we co-directed it, created it.
I'm Nicolas Baviere, I'm the sound artist for the film, so I did the music and the sound design.
And I am Concetta Clarizio, and I got the joyous role of Lilius AD in the film.
So you were one of the stars, as well as Wolf.
Yeah, so as well as creating it with Cosmo, I also acted in it as well.
So before we get into all the different things with the filmmaking, etc., what was this Super 8 kind of competition? Was it a competition?
Yeah, so it's the Straight 8 film competition, and basically you have one reel of Super 8 film, and you have to shoot your whole film on that one reel. You can't edit the film, you have to shoot it all in camera. Every time you pull the trigger on the Super 8 camera, that's going to be your shot. Wow. If you screw it up, there's no going back.
That's it, you're done. You can't load up another film and start again.
No, unless it's like the first shots, then you can like go, oh well, I messed that up, I'll have to put another.
And then you can cut. What do? You cut that bit off if it's on the end.
You can't cut anything off.
There's no post-production.
No. Wow. So you really have to be creative with this, and clever with your time, and careful with your time, and all the different things that you're doing.
You have to prepare a lot in advance, and just be ready, completely and utterly 100% sure of your shots and what exactly is going to happen, and how you're going to plan out each day, and how you're going to make sure that you don't run out of film. So you're timing the shots. Like every time the camera's switched on, you're timing it on your phone, and so adding up the total seconds.
It can very easily go. Tell me a little bit about the organisation that put this together. Who are they?
So Straight 8, I mean, they're just like passionate filmmakers who got together to do this challenge. I think they've been doing it for,
since
I'll probably guess it. Okay, great.
26 years.
26 years. And the judging process of the films, I think, so this year, they said they had a really high standard of films, and like everyone knocked it out of the park. And I think in total there was 150 films submitted. So the ones that went to Cannes Film Festival, to the screen in the cinema, they were like the top 8 films chosen out of those 150 films.
What an achievement that is to be here. You know, to be in that top 8, that really sort of says something on its own, doesn't it? So how does that feel for you guys? I can see you smiling.
It's wonderful. And for me as an actor, I'd never done anything like this before, and it required such a level of discipline. But thankfully, Cosmo directed the pieces I was doing, and he was very clear, and there was an excellent storyboard, and there was no room for messing about. There's no improvising.
No.
Absolutely has to be, as soon as he says action, it has to be perfect. Because there's no going back.
No.
And it was thrilling, actually. As an actor, it was thrilling. I don't know about you, but I found it thrilling to do it.
I can imagine the whole thing was. Did you do it all in like one day or something? Was it
2 days?
Yeah.
2 days. But the first day was at one location, which was only about a quarter of the film. So we had to do 3/4 of the film in the second location in one day, which we really should have actually spread over 2 days. But time and money, you know.
Yeah.
Well, you know, in the final product, it all came off well in the end.
I think we just about pulled it off.
Yeah, you definitely did. To get into the top 8 and be here in Cannes, you did.
Gosh. It's so hard because like we were watching it. I mean, we've just seen the film, so it's like what. You just see so many things. You're like, that was too fast. That was too slow. That was too dark. But like the first time we saw it in the cinema was the first time we've seen our film. So. We're just like completely blind. And the next big thing about the Straight 8 competition is that you can't sync any sound. You can't record any sound, no dialogue, nothing. And because we can't watch our film to make any sound or music or anything, we had to really plan what we were going to do about that. And Nico did the sound design and the music, did an amazing job.
Thank you.
Really, really cool. And just
we had a clear plan what we wanted to do with the sound, like from the start. Before we filmed, we were discussing it with you. In fact, we brought Nico on right at the start, almost just after we decided to make the film. We contacted him and said, we're going to be shooting in about a month, but we need to start talking to you about the soundtrack, because we have this idea of it being a parallel narrative to help tell our story through sounds, with this kind of the backstory being explained slowly, so that they sort of come together like a sort of V. It's sort of about the 3/4 point of the film. So you realise exactly what's happening, but at that point in the film, when the sound sort of catches up to the vision. It's difficult to talk about without showing you the film.
The sound design really have its own narrative, and it was a pleasure to work with you guys, because I really like the vision that you had, and quite glad I got to put it to play.
He just knocks it out of the park. When I watched it just now, it was just so creepy. The music, it was just like, I think that just makes it.
I'm getting the sense that you're pleased with the final outcome. How are you feeling? Like you say, we've literally just walked out of this screening. How do you all feel right now?
It's a success.
Definitely.
It's a surprise. It's
Absolute success. For the nature of the challenge, it was never going to look like a beautiful, polished film. But I am just really, I'm so impressed, because the biggest thing that we did that was really ambitious in it was Cosmo wanted to do this special lighting effect that you'd found.
Yes, and how do you do something like that? You have a special effect in the middle of a scene that you can't edit. How do you even begin to do that? So if we describe the scene that we're watching, your face morphs, it changes from being demonic to no longer demonic. Like how does that happen without you pressing stop?
So we found this film from the 1930s that had used that technique and researched into how they did it. And in fact, no one knows how they did it. It was done by this absolutely top DOP, this legendary genius DOP at the time, and no one's actually been able to reproduce what he did. And he did not
until now.
and people thought he might have done it with filters, but the consensus is he just did it with lights. So we applied red makeup to Will's face and put red lights on him, and when you shoot that in black and white, you can't see the red. It just all looks like his face is completely normal. Wow. And then during the shot, we switched the lights from red to blue, and suddenly all the makeup comes through as black. It looks black in black and white, and he's got this horrific monster face.
Wow! So you've used techniques from 100 years ago.
Yeah, for
a film that you're making today.
And we're quite pleased with how that turned out. It was really, really good to see, because that was the thing we were most scared of, because we had no idea whether or not it had worked. Yeah. But the original effect from the 30s is. It's kind of better than CGI.
Yes,
because you can't.
It feels
because it's
real.
Organic.
Yeah, that organic feels real, doesn't it? When we're sitting in the cinema and we see that, I think we can tell when things are fake, can't we? What do you think, Donnie? Do you feel it as a cinema goer?
Yes,
when something is
absolutely.
made computer generated.
Yeah, absolutely.
What does it make you think?
Why bother? But I was there when they were doing this, and they had this incredible team, camera guys, the lighting guys, the makeup artist, and it was just, for me, I was loving it, because this is stuff that I saw when I was a little girl, and I'm seeing it, and it's happening, and they're actually doing it, and it looked amazing. But it's only today that we know that actually banging it worked.
That you pulled it off. So I'm also wondering how your creativity is informed by these restraints. Because I'm someone that doesn't, personally, when I'm being creative, I don't like restraints. I like to be free. I like to play and explore and do whatever I want to do. Yeah. But you've been given rules here. So did you find that a benefit or a hindrance?
I found that I find actually having constraints makes me more creative. And in fact, when we first brainstormed, what should we make a film about? We could make a film about anything. We just immediately just came up with this idea about thumbs flying through the air onto someone's hands, just like the most crazy. It could have been an animation, and then it was like, let's just do it. We'll make it happen. And then, we were sort of throwing stuff at it and just going, we'll make it happen. All we need to do is, the hard bit is finding a crew and a location and lights and camera and a bit of money to pay for those things. Yes. We did have to spend a bit.
Yeah, I'd like to echo on that as well, because musically, since like in horror films you have a lot of cue points that are very necessary, but since we don't have a clear edit because we don't have the film, so we had to come up with like crazy ideas on like how to fade in the cue points and everything. So yeah, the restraints really make you more creative in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Great, wonderful. Yeah. So what advice, so you've had your film shown here at Cannes. That's it for this year, isn't it? For this particular project. There'll be another lot of people that come along next year and give this a go. What advice would you give to those filmmakers as they enter?
Oh my gosh, like preparation is key, but then you have to just let go of all the mistakes as well. Like we had to. One of the ways we tried to sync the sound was attaching a GoPro to the camera so we could see what we'd shot as best as we could. So then we could use that to edit the sound, do the sound. Yeah. But we weren't perfect, so we forgot to turn it on.
I'd say that another bit of advice is don't let the budget restrain you. When you come up with an idea, it's very easy and it feels very necessary to go, well, we can't afford to do that, so we've got to keep it simple. We mustn't get too ambitious, and it's just start as ambitious as you possibly can.
Exactly.
And then if you can't afford it and you can't go to like a million different locations, you'll get creative with what you can do, and then you create something good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's taught. I think for us, it's taught us a lot of lessons. I think going forward with our future, our actual films that aren't straight 8, with our projects, it's taught us to really plan what we're doing, because I found that really helpful. It's kind of changed my way of thinking about shooting. A lot. I really liked having that control. I think really. Just every single aspect of it had to be really considered. There was no improvisation whatsoever. So to go from that to then filmmaking where it is more free, you can do another take if you want.
It's very easy when you're a low budget filmmaker to actually end up doing 100 takes. Yeah. Because you can't quite get a shot the way you want it. And then with this is like learning how to make an omelette before you can make a sophisticated meal. There's a million ways you can make an omelette. Yeah, and it's an art in itself.
That's really interesting that you bring that up about the modern technology, and we can now just keep filming and filming and filming until we find the perfect shot, which sometimes never comes. Or I've found, as in my past, I used to do a bit of acting and I do self-tapes, and I wonder, Connor, you probably get this. Do you find that sometimes when you look back on self-tapes, the first one was the best?
Yes. Oh yeah, so much of the time. Yeah. So I have to be disciplined. Discipline is everything, which is why I think straight 8 is a really good thing for any filmmaker or actor to experience, because that form of discipline reminds you that there is excellent work to be had in those very first few takes. Yes, absolutely. They're usually the first ones I send, my first or second, and I never let myself do more than 6. No.
That's a great rule. You've got to have a cut-off point with this perfection, haven't you? Otherwise, I feel like we don't move forward with these things. And this has forced you into that position.
It has.
Get the job done in one go.
It made us make a film.
It did.
Where we could have spent another year.
Because you did it in one go, you're here now in Cannes.
So we didn't even intend to enter this competition. So we went to a Shooting People Network night, which is also where we met Nico that night, and we just get given a raffle ticket when you turn up, and they do a little raffle. Some people get sherbet lemons or a Zoom recorder.
And you won the privilege of making
and we won entry into the straight 8 competition, and we turned to each other and were like,
I was like, I said, I really hope we don't win this one. I literally did.
But look, where are we now?
You said that. And then they called out our number and we'd won it, and so we were like, oh no, we've got to make a film now.
And then the mindset started changing. Like, this is actually an amazing opportunity. Let's do it. Let's go for it.
And we thought, you know what? Let's just do as much as we can. Let's be as ambitious as possible. Let's do these effects. Let's have thumbs fly through the air and of that. And yeah, we're just so glad it worked out. And it's taught us so many lessons. And yeah, it is a great thing for any filmmaker and performer to do, you know, and sound designer to do, because it really teaches you a lot about the craft, you know, and like you were saying, just being really committed to the vision as well.
Yes.
Absolutely, and yeah, we love it. Onwards and upwards.
So what is next? What is upwards? Where are we going next?
So we're developing a couple of short films, which I think both of them have got feature potential. So we want to at least one of them to become our calling card that could maybe be developed into a feature, or inspire a feature to be made after that. They're both horror films. We've fallen a bit in love with the horror genre. It's a good genre to start off with. So I've just finished a zombie script. It's a 15-minute zombie film. It's a zombie film with a big twist. It's not your average zombie film.
Well, I look forward to seeing what comes next from you guys, from all of you. I'll be following closely, but I don't want to keep you away from your celebration drinks that are happening around the corner. That's part of Cannes, I guess, to do all of that. So enjoy and congratulations on your film.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And where do we find out more about you guys as well?
Yeah, so together we are on Instagram. It's Tricky Pictures, at Tricky Pictures. Is that it wasn't taken, Tricky Pictures?
It's at Pictures Tricky.
At Pictures Tricky, oh gosh. At Pictures Tricky. I'm on Instagram, Wolf J Newton, all together. Cosmo, you're on Instagram.
I'm at Cosmo Polyman.
Cosmo Polyman.
Nice.
Yeah.
You can find me at @one_eyed_hound, one-eyed hound. It's my artist name as my solo projects as well.
One-eyed hound.
One-eyed hound.
And I am Concetta Clarizio on Instagram. I'm Clarizio Concetta, and happy for anyone to say hello.
I'll be sure to add in the comments below all the relevant things.
Thanks.
So thanks once again, guys. And if anyone has been watching or listening, we appreciate you for joining us for this conversation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye from Cannes.
Love that. Well done, guys.
Oh, amazing.
Fun.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I'm really bad at interviews.
we got quite a lot out of there, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Great questions.
Yeah, really good questions. You're very good at
Yeah.